Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to season 2, episode 122. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about Busquets' exit from the club. Busquets has officially announced that he's going to be leaving FC Barcelona at the end of the season. After so many years, after so many trophies, after so many beautiful moments, highs and lows, Busquets is going to be leaving at the end of the season. It's going to be a very sad exit, but guys, remember, I posted a link on on Twitter at Kool-Aid Podcast 10. Remember to click on the link anytime you guys want to hop on and give your thoughts and comments, discussions, or anything like that. Let me choose my co-host for the day, Alex and Alvaro.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's up, guys?
All right, guys. Busquets is leaving FC Barcelona at the end of the season. What are your thoughts and your opinions on Busquets' exit?
It's um, it's sad to see, but at the same time, there's no way to put it. For us and for many of us, he's the greatest CDM of all time. I mean,
Greatest CDM of all time.
there's not much else to say. His record speaks for itself. Um, but the one thing that we look forward to is the new generation that's coming. We've already see it started. This great team started many years ago with a Xavi exit, and it's coming to an end with Busquets and Diaba. We'll see your Diaba announces anything soon. But I mean, greatest stadium of all time. Not much else to say. I mean, we saw how much he won with Barca, with the Spanish national team.
Look at all those trophies.
Look at that. So I mean, yeah, I mean, I'll let Alex put it in his comments because I mean, there's not much else to say. He'll be missed. The middle ran through him. The offense, the offense was pushed up through him, and he was able to hold it back on defense with an underwhelming physique that many criticize him for at points. But I mean, hey, he's the greatest for a reason. So
Yeah, so I mean, all good things come to an end. Of course, we're all huge fans of Busquets here. I also consider him the greatest number five in history. And as we can see, his accolades speak for themselves.
And
Not,
these
not
are just with the FC Barcelona. We haven't even
right, yeah,
mentioned
not
those
to
in
mention
Spain.
the 2 Euros,
Hmm.
the World Cup. Right, there's phenomenal player. What can I say? It's a shame seeing him go, but of course, it's part of the game. He understands. We understand. He's not going to be able to play for us forever, and certainly not at the level that we want him to. So, I think it's the best move for him. He'll get a hero's goodbye, if that's what you can call it.
Yeah.
He'll get the proper goodbye that he deserves.
with
And
a
of
La
course,
Liga win, so
I'm sorry.
With the La Liga trophy,
with a La Liga trophy,
Right. So I,
so
I think he's honestly going out with a bang. He won a La Liga trophy and he won
the
Spanish
Supercopa.
Super Cup. So
Hmm.
two trophies in a year. That's a good way to leave. Um, and yeah, well, what a phenomenal player. We've been very lucky to have grown up watching him. He's certainly one of my favorite players of all time. And of course, it's sad, but at the same time, it's a happy finish. Be sad that it happened, not that it's
Yeah,
don't be happy that it happened, not be sad that it's over.
exactly. Be happy that happened. Busquets, as you guys both have said, greatest number five, greatest CDM of all time. He completely revolutionized the game.
Hmm.
There are many quotes about him. A famous quote saying like, if you watch Busquets, you don't see you what's it called? It's you know
yeah,
that
Yeah,
quote.
if you
if
watch the
you
game,
watch
you won't see
Yeah,
Busquets,
yeah.
but if you watch Busquets, you'll see the game. Yeah.
That quote right there, that quote right
exactly.
there. It's been repeated so many times, and it shows what Busquets is all about. Just Busquets was never extremely fast. He wasn't extremely physical.
Mm,
Just his reading of the game, his IQ, it was on a completely different level.
yeah.
He was unique. Riquelme said that when a team usually played bad, it was because of the number 10 not performing. But nowadays, it's the five. If the five doesn't have a good game, then the team doesn't play well. And Pep alongside Busquets completely changed that role. And Busquets now is going to be a huge miss. The team now and FC Barcelona, they're going to have to look into our summer transfer window, into our summer plans, and see how we're going to replace him because Busquets leaving is going to leave a huge hole in the squad. Uh, Now, a question I want to ask you guys: who is going to replace Busquets? Who is your chosen replacement? Who do you
Before
want to replace
before
Busquets?
you even get to that question, I mean, we all know we don't have a CDM. We don't have a natural CDM.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've been saying this for many different rumors and many different targets that Barca are after. I feel like everything will fall into place and will start to happen once we see what Messi decides. Because we've already talked about this. If Messi comes to Barca, he won't be a right winger. We might see Xavi and Barca adapt to his play style. Does that mean that he comes like as a possible cam? Does that mean that Xavi alters the formation to fit Messi's play style? And if that happens, what happens to the CDM position?
Yeah.
Or maybe Xavi just decides to rock Messi at right wing, and then we do have to look at the CDM. So I mean, whether Messi comes or not, you have to solidify a CDM position with a class player. Um, we know all the nice names are out there. We just gotta see their availability. But I mean, yeah.
Right. So I wanted to say real quick. So I think we actually have a replacement. I just don't think it's the best option, and that would be to put Frankie De Jong in that number 5 role. The only issue I have with that is that we've seen before in the past that Frankie De Jong does best when he has someone who can help him defend and help him hold the space, because we know that yes, he can play the ball out from the back, which is something you look for in a number 5, but he wanders up a lot and tries to create chances, which is perfectly fine, right? I just think that it then leaves a gap in the midfield that Busquets would normally fill, because Busquets normally wouldn't go that high as it is. I do think there's a great replacement that we can get, and that is Sofian Amrabat.
So Amrabat.
Yeah, Amrabat. Yeah, he's a phenomenal player. I
Okay.
think he will fit the role perfectly. He's a very aggressive player, wins the ball back. Very different style from Busquets, but I think in combination alongside someone like De Jong, Pedri, Gavi, it would help him. He will help hold down the midfield, and De Jong could help him as well. I think he will fit perfectly, to be honest. And he's a player that we could get for a relatively low price compared to other names out there.
What do you think of Gundogan? For example, because I think for next season, Xavi's going to stick with that four-man midfield. He's going to try to create that rhombus. What do you think of a midfield of Gavi, Pedri, Frankie De Jong, and Gundogan? Gundogan
Right.
replay. I would say Frankie De Jong as that more deep line playmaker, and having Gundogan a little bit further up. Or what do you think?
So I think that could work as well. There's certainly been a lot of speculation about who is going to come into the midfield. That's why we saw the rumors of Ruben Neves coming in,
Mm-hmm.
Franz Fati, and now, of course, we've been hearing about Gondogan for some months now, I believe. Um, yes, I wouldn't mind that. The only problem is age. Gundogan isn't that young of a player anymore. He's not. He's certainly not old. I believe he's like 30 years old.
Yeah, he's 31 around there.
Right. So he's 31. He's a player that's already, I would say, entering his not his decline, because he's still a very good level, but he's entering the end of his prime, so to speak. Um, if he's not in his prime anymore, which I think he's still playing phenomenally. But my only problem with him is, yes, you play him higher up, but then again, I don't know how capable the young is of
Hmm.
holding that down by himself defensively. Yeah, that's my only issue. My only issue is that I don't know if the young has the discipline or the mentality to be able to sit back and not want to go up, because again, and I love that he can create and take on players, and he's great. He's one of the best players at carrying the ball down the midfield and creating chances, and we see this game in, game out. But he can do that best when he has someone to support him, and Busquets is phenomenal at that, because he still understands, right? He's still playing for us. He understands his role, and he has the vision and the mental coolness to slow down the game, widen the passing. I think he brings a balance to the team that if we don't have a player that's more defensive or someone kind of like him, we wouldn't have. Now, I'm not saying Amrabat is like him in that sense. Amrabat is obviously much physical, much more aggressive. He's more of an N'Golo Kante type of player, so to speak, in the sense he loves winning the ball back,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
he's not afraid to get physical. But um, I still
His
think
his on the
Amrabat is.
ball.
I'm sorry.
His on the ball ability. That is one thing I would question though, because at Barcelona you need to be very good technically.
Right. No, I think he's fine. It's just that I think the way we've seen him at other places, like I think the way we've seen him in Morocco and in Fiorentina, maybe he's I just think I think he's capable. I just don't think the teams he played for have allowed him to show his on the ball ability. But I think he'd be fine. I just really like him because he's a player we can get for a relatively low price tag compared to others. And I mean, I understand Gundogan is coming as a free agent, right?
He would be coming in as a free agent, yes.
Right. So
If
that's always
Barcelona.
a benefit. I would have to check Amrabat's current contract. I do think his contract is about to expire.
He wouldn't be
Yeah.
coming on a free. Like he'd be coming for around like 25 million euros around
Yeah.
there.
Right. So, but again, that's low. But of course, you rather get something for free than something that you got to pay for. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. I'm as you guys can see, I'm a huge fan of Amrabat. I saw him. Well, I watched him in Fiorentina, and I saw him in the World Cup, and I think he's a phenomenal player that we could
Mm-hmm.
use. But there's certainly many options.
Certainly. And what does the future hold for Sergio Busquets? Sergio Busquets, guys, is he's not retiring. He's not retiring from the game like Piqué. Sergio Busquets is it's expected either MLS or Saudi Arabia. Now, if he does go to Saudi Arabia, I believe the more lucrative deal would be in Saudi Arabia,
Mm.
playing for Al Hilal, for example. If he goes to MLS, Inter Miami, he's been rumored with Inter Miami a lot recently. So either of the two options, it would be a good way for Sergio Busquets just to basically tail off the end of his magisterial career. Um, and this is one thing that I find funny. But guys, Sergio Busquets leaving, this is going to mean that Sergio Roberto is going to become our first choice captain. What
That's
do you guys
hilarious.
what do you guys think of Sergio Roberto becoming our first choice
Look,
captain?
look, before we start talking about that, I wanted to make a quick note about something I said earlier. I was talking about
Okay,
the CDM position,
okay.
and I didn't touch base on Frankie like Alex did, and here's why. They Barca and the coaching staff made sure to make it clear that Frankie was not the CDM.
Yeah, they did make it clear. Hmm.
Even when Busquets was out, they would not play Frankie as CDM. So when this is a direct message to the player telling him you are not playing this, the fakes to Busquets leaving cannot be Frankie as CDM. I'm not saying that he's not capable of it. I'm sure he's capable of it. But with Xavi, he's already been through two coaching terms, Xavi and Koeman, where he did not play CDM. So I mean, to ask for a player that has been asked to not play that to play it now, I don't see a realistic for Frankie to come as CDM. Maybe he can fill it in for one game like we see him do before, but I don't. I don't. I will be shocked if it was the solution.
This is precisely why our number one priority should be to replace Busquets. That CDM role.
Yeah,
That should be our top priority this summer.
yeah.
Um, but rounding off the episode, guys, Sergio Busquets is leaving FC Barcelona at the end of the season. He's going to be a huge miss. He's a unique player. He completely revolutionized that CDM role. In every big game, you saw how influential he was, just dictating the play, inviting pressure, releasing the ball. He's a unique player, and he's one of a kind. We will definitely sorely miss him.
And to
And
answer your question about say Roberto being captain, I think we all expect it to be Ter Stegen,
Ter Stegen, it's possible. You know, there are some rumors about
but we'll see.
Araujo, Ter Stegen, and Mele
I first I'd
becoming.
be shocked that
I
would be a shocking move.
It would be shocking. But guys, that was it for tonight's episode. As always, guys, I post a link on Twitter at Kool-Aid Podcast 10. Um, go on Twitter, click on the link, and then you'll be able to hop on and give your thoughts and discussions. We always welcome new and fresh faces. But guys, remember like and subscribe and comment. Also follow us on our social media platforms on Instagram, on Twitter, and on TikTok. All the handles are Kool-Aid Podcasts. And we'll see you guys all in the next episode. Peace out, guys.